Hey everyone, welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in entertainment. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Sim. Hi everyone.
Hey.
Today we're going to talk about gift-giving etiquette for casual flings, rom-com's flawed portrayal of New Year's Eve, and actress Leslie Mann's feature in New Beauty. Plus, Health Magazine's editor-in-chief Amy Conway joins the table. But first
Today we have some jingle balls on the table provided by New York City's The Meatball Shop, served with a traditional Cumberland sauce. These reindeer balls are the Meatball Shop's Christmas special and are currently available in all 6 of the NYC locations. Yay, meatballs!
We have them with mashed potatoes, but you can get them without.
Yeah.
But I do love me some mashed potatoes. So
This looks like
Me too.
a really
Please.
festive, sort of like medieval plate.
yeah.
Have you guys been to the meatball shop in New York? Anybody clap your hands if you have?
Woo!
Right?
Yeah.
For me, it's like a staple now, but my favorite is like the classic meatballs with marinara over polenta. It's great. Which I think this is polenta.
Delicious.
Polenta.
That's polenta.
Okay.
I love that meatballs are just like a main dish now. This is like the best.
Yeah. Does anyone know what Cumberland sauce is other than me? Cumberland sauce is a fruity sauce traditionally used for like a Christmas ham or something like that.
Did you look that
Wow.
up 5 minutes ago?
Wow.
I looked it up yesterday.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there.
I love that you're a like resident foodie.
Yeah, absolutely,
I'm
guys.
just like, yeah, it's sauce.
Yeah.
These veggie balls are so good.
I want to
Are
try
those
veggie
veggie
ball.
balls?
Like
Oh.
forever. I mean, as a little Italian boy, meatballs are just like #1. This is beautiful. I'm glad everyone just
Thank
enjoys
you, Meatball
meatballs.
Shop. You take good care of us.
Absolutely. So let's move on as I'm devouring meatballs. With the holidays only a few days away and gift-giving season approaching, Cosmo posed the highly important question, should you get your casual fling a holiday gift? And if so, what should it be? Guys, what do we think about this?
No.
Yeah, no.
You should obviously not get your casual fling a gift. Don't be stupid. Don't be
is
scammed.
Silly question.
It's a
Silly question.
If I,
such a silly
I
question.
received a gift from a girl I was having a fling with, I would be like, you're crazy. What
It's
are you
just
doing?
like, how stupid are women?
Also, you're the gift, right?
Oh, that's so sweet.
Aww.
In this article, it was really great. It wasn't actually saying whether it was good or bad. They actually just talked to a lot of different women of different ages on what they would do.
Yeah.
And I love how idealistic the 23 and 24-year-olds were. They're like, well, if you feel it, maybe you should buy it, or maybe buy it, and if they give you something, you give it back. And the 30-year-old was like, don't do it. Men are crazy, and they'll think you're crazy. And I was like, that's great advice.
What? Yeah, I think like I was thinking you were gonna do a bigger age gap than just you and me.
Yeah.
But I think like I think 23-year-olds and 24-year-olds for the most part, yeah, I mean they're just as dumb as a 30-year-old who's giving a fling a gift.
Yeah, I'm just saying in the article it was funny when you looked
No,
at
I
the
know,
advice.
I'm just taking
from-
it personally.
I know.
But yeah, it's ridiculous. Why would you do that? I don't know.
I mean, I guess like you feel some sort of pressure in the holiday season if you're having some sort of relationship with someone to give them gifts, but I think that's a pressure like society puts on us. Like you don't have to give someone a present because it's Christmas time
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did, this article also talked about something called Scrooging, which is where you dump your significant other right before the holidays so you don't have to get them
That's
a
a
Christmas
thing.
gift, which is financially responsible, but a dick move. But really horrible.
That's why the holidays are so tough, because that's actually a stat that I see year after year, is that people break up before the holidays, but then depression also rises during the holidays that's probably one of the factors.
Is it to not give them a gift, or is it to not bring them? I think the gift is probably one part of that. Like they also don't want to bring them around to their family and have to do I think
maybe it's a time you really think about if you're with this person for a certain amount of months, like, is this serious? Do I want to pursue it? Meet the family, get Christmas gifts, spend all this money and time, and you're like, no, I don't want to buy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I just hate being forced to give a gift. So Christmas is already a hard holiday for me for a lot of reasons. I'm like, I want to give people gifts. Like that's something I do but like at the holidays you feel forced. If somebody gets you something, you have to give them something, and
Right.
it gets weird.
A lot of pressure to put on someone. I like the people who just like giving gifts, who
Yeah.
give gifts year round. I think that's really cute. But then I hate when people read into it and are like, oh, they gave me a gift. They must really care about me. And I'm like, no, you're just easy.
Yeah.
She just got you a gift card from Starbucks. Calm down.
In my old job, I remember one time, like, everyone was giving each other gifts, and I got nothing. So I bought these cards Thursday night, the night before we went on break, and wrote these incredibly long letters to every person.
That's
Like,
sweet.
this was my gift to give them, and I was like, because I'm cheap, and I forgot. But words are powerful.
I think cards are nice though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a card from
I'm
you.
emotional, you know?
I
think about
know.
people.
Did you write us cards, Lucas?
I was gonna write you guys cards, but then I was like, Nah, don't do it.
I didn't give you guys anything either.
Yeah. But
I was
like,
trying
I'll
to
text
feel out the situation. I was like, are they like hinting towards gifts? Am I gonna be the bad one? And then I showed up today and I was like, oh, they don't give a fuck.
I came with some
great.
extra
None
just
of
like
us got
goodies.
anybody anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got you
okay.
something that I meant to get you earlier,
Oh,
but I haven't given it to you. But it's not like a Christmas gift.
it's just like a friend gift.
Yeah.
Thank
It's just a
I got
a
you
ring.
something.
It's a ring.
It's a ring.
just a ring, yeah.
Wow.
Got a ring.
Casual ring.
What's the craziest gift you guys have ever gotten from a partner, though? Or like biggest or coolest or?
Chlamydia was
Oh.
amazing.
Oh my god.
And it just keeps giving.
Yeah.
It was like, thank you. So that was from you, who's from you, who's from
And you can re-gift that one too.
Yes.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Could you tell who it was from though?
Yep, I knew.
Oh, I like that. Usually I'm like, I don't know who this was from.
Yeah. But whatever, you take what you can get.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, the countdown to 2019 is on, and as Cosmo Feature pointed out, New Year's Eve is not always how it seems in the movies. That's right, rom-coms are known to portray New Year's Eve in a not-so-accurate light, perpetuating stereotypes about the holiday that are a little far from the truth. Guys, again, I'm sorry for the reads today. My voice is like
It's
almost
okay,
gone.
Brittany.
Yeah, we're
Don't
all
worry,
sick.
Brittany.
Whitney's been out late
I have been.
with Katie
Brittany
Couric.
was out
Party
late.
with Katie
Brittany,
Couric.
check
She's
out
been
BJ's
spreading
Insta.
gifts.
She was
Yeah.
partying with Katie Couric last night.
Yeah.
We went for tasteful drinks at the Hotel Carlisle. I just want to. I
That's
don't want to.
Brittany's clip,
I don't want to
so-
bring down her brand. I don't want to bring her down to where I'm at. I think this is true. I mean, rom-coms do like romanticize New Year's Eve. I actually like very rarely have a good New Year's Eve, but in movies it always looks so great.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a good New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I think I would go so far as to say it's my least favorite holiday. I really hate the pressure of planning. I hate crowds. So this isn't a good
Right.
for my people.
I mean, like, they're movies, they're unrealistic. I mean, a realistic movie about New York Christmas Eve would be the portals of hell open and demons are unleashed, and it's just, like, hell is on, like, that, it's not Halloween. It's New Year's Eve in New York City is when hell is released from the world, and, like, that is this whole city.
The city breaks.
I've never had a fun New Year's Eve. I always either go back home to DC and have fun with high school friends, and this year I'm going to Miami. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not doing it.
The city breaks down.
You're
big
going to
time.
Miami because you just want to chill
Yeah.
town.
I want to chill. Also, because I'm like, going with like my mom. Like, it's like party.
Yeah.
More than once in this city, I've gotten stuck on the train during the countdown, and then you have to be like,
Oh no.
5, 4, 3, with like a bunch of homeless people being like, ah, and you're like, no, why? Why is life so shitty here?
Are you serious? On
Yeah.
the subway?
Multiple times?
Multiple times where we're like rushing to get somewhere, and
Right.
we're like, we gotta get to this exact spot, and then we get stuck on the train, and we're there for 45 minutes, and then we're like, this is the worst way to start the year, and I'm like, yeah, I would rather be dead
So
right
who
now.
would you kiss at midnight?
The conductor?
Oh, man, I just kiss the subway floor and say, take me, take me, I'm done.
So you bring the New Year in with your subway cart.
Ugh, it's so
Wow,
sad.
that
Special.
really is sad.
That's a very New York New Year's Eve.
That's a realistic movie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like they talk about that New Year's Eve movie, like they're like rushing around the city. They make New York look like it's a small village in Italy.
No.
Like it's like that is realistic. If someone goes in the subway to try to catch someone to kiss them at midnight and they get stuck with a bunch of homeless people and they end up
Masturbating
just
on
like
them.
that is
Accurate.
the movie.
Have you ever seen that movie? It's with Paul Rudd. I think it's called 200 Cigarettes. It's about New Year's Eve, and it's like painfully realistic. Everybody's night sucks, and they're like, I'm kissing a garbage can. And they're like, I remember I watched that movie, and I just remembered it. I was like, oh, this is like real life.
Yeah.
I mean, to lighten it though, I have had really fun like parties with high school friends back in DC when they're like low key.
Yeah.
Everyone's in a house drinking.
I think
Going
house
crazy.
parties are where it's at.
Yeah.
I mean, in this article, they point out Sex and the City movie
Yeah.
where Miranda didn't have plans. And they're
Right.
like, that's so unrealistic. I'm
Right.
like, no, it's not. Like, I've spent 2 New Year's Eves at home alone because I was like, I don't want to deal with this. If I can't find like the perfect house party with like people that I want to be around, otherwise, like a typical bar will put like $100 cover.
Yeah.
So like even like the pub around the corner is gonna charge you.
See, lots of times I want to stay home alone, but then people will text me and they're like, what are you up to? And I don't want to say that I'm home alone, even though that's what I enjoy. So I'm like, oh, I'm at a party. And then like I have to like stick to that lie. But really I'm home alone, just like sitting on my couch. much, and like then I start feeling bad that like I'm it's just I'm a liar.
Yeah, you're a liar.
Have any of you tried to do Times Square?
No.
No.
Isn't it horrible?
Yes.
I was in an Uber in LA, and usually like people find out you're from New York, and they're like, oh, they want to ask you a question, and this guy like almost hit his brakes and was like, I have to ask you, is it true? And I was like, what? And I thought he was gonna ask me a million things, and he was like, do you guys wear diapers so you can watch the ball drop in Times Square? And I was like, what? And then I was like, yes, because people wear
Right.
diapers
Yeah.
and like piss themselves and shit themselves there, and I'm like, that is so disgusting.
That is so
Did you
disgusting,
guys know
and
that
I would have to do that.
Because they let you in, but you cannot leave. So once you're in through those gates, because you go through security, you cannot leave.
Oh, well, is it
Yeah.
just you can leave and you can't come
You
back?
can't come back.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
So you can
genuinely
leave.
Yeah,
did
but,
not
like,
know that.
Yeah.
But understand, of course, you have to do that. Wear pull-ups or whatever.
Yeah.
That
So
is
now when you're
Wow.
watching the show, look at
Oh.
all those people's faces and know that they're like, I'm in my caca. I can't wait for my mommy to change me later. It's so creepy.
It's
Or
so
you
gross.
watch, I just remember, like you watch like Andy and Anderson on CNN or Ryan Seacrest, whatever, and they're freezing their asses off,
Yeah.
like trying to be like, up next is Camila Cabello, yay! And they're like, Andy Cohen just like, oh my God, get me back to the house.
Somebody's gonna make a really funny GIF of that, by the way, of what you were just
yeah,
doing.
I shouldn't have done that.
Oh.
Interesting.
I was holding a microphone, you pervs.
It's also not fun to be, if you're single on New Year's Eve and everyone's kissing at midnight and you're just like,
It's
No.
so sad.
just trying to like catch a kiss in the wind or
It's so
something.
awkward.
You know, you keep doing this eye looks, people like,
Yeah, you're just like waiting for kisses to end so that what, you could get like a hug? It's just-
Yeah, that's what you're awkwardly waiting for, a hug from somebody who feels bad for you.
I know, it sucks.
pity New Year's Eve.
Oh, I know that. I'm just like, are you okay? Thanks.
Yeah.
They should talk about that more. It's like, oh, I give the pity New Year's Eve
Yeah.
hug. I'm that person at the party, like, I'm sorry.
Single person.
Oh, it's so
Oh, that's
sad.
nice.
Yeah, you do a little pat.
Yeah, it's like
Little
sorry.
pat.
Happy New
yeah,
Year.
that's not good.
Well, Happy New Year's, guys.
Happy
Look
New
positive
Year.
and fun.
Hope you're not completely alone. Use your imagination. Hands are awesome. In New Beauty's latest feature, actress Leslie Mann opened up about not feeling that typical movie star pressure throughout her career. Plus, Mann also dished on her marriage with knocked-up producer Judd Apatow and their two daughters, Maud and Iris.
I love Leslie Mann.
I do
Cool.
too. What do you guys think about what she said?
Next story.
Yeah, like, yeah, we agree.
I think she's great. I understand why she's naturally pretty. So, and I could see her as someone who married to Judd Apatow. They seem pretty grounded. They're into comedy.
Yeah.
Not feeling the pressure to like, look like Angelina Jolie or something like that. Because
Yeah.
she's not also doing those dramatic roles.
Right.
Yeah.
She's doing comedy roles in Judd's films.
It made me think about the pressure that people like Angelina Jolie or Priyanka Chopra, or these just like glamazon, beautiful women. It's like, how must that feel that to have to keep up that standard, or nobody wants to look at you or hire you?
Yeah, I think that has to be very difficult.
Yeah.
At the same time, if it was my full-time job to worry about how I looked every day, then I would do that.
But like aging is, I mean, you can't stop that.
No, of course.
Talk
Of
to
course.
this people trying to stop it.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
know many famous people who are literally trying to halt that. I'm pretty sure Madonna is like vampiring, like
I mean, Jillian Michaels,
virgins
I feel
that-
like she stopped
She's
it.
stopping.
She
Yeah.
basically stopped it with her 6
But
teeth.
on Allie's note, though, if someone was paying me to like work out consistently, do all this stuff, I mean, you do like
Right? It's easier to cultivate that lifestyle.
yes, when the studios are paying you money. But I love Leslie Mann. I think she's so funny. I mean, her Knocked Up, she's just so great in
Yeah.
that. And every movie she's pretty much been in. And she's in that new Steve Carell movie too.
Marlon.
But she's like, I mean, I get it. She's
Oh my God, that movie.
It looks
What is going on with
interesting.
that movie? Looks like white people gone crazy.
It looks really interesting.
well,
Yeah.
isn't it a real story? Based
It's based on a real
Based
story.
off a real story, isn't it?
So, like,
Those dolls coming to life.
Well,
he creates a world.
He got abused, like beaten up, and then he
okay.
creates dolls
Sorry.
to like cope with it.
All right, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah. I just love when a movie is so weird they can't even make the trailer work out. You can't even make 30 seconds make sense. It's
Right.
like you had one job, and that was to fucking fool us, and you couldn't even do it.
Janelle Monáe is a
confused.
doll? Like I was like, what's
Yeah,
happening?
still very confused.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's so true.
So weird.
But I think I think this message is really important for her to just be like, there's a lot of women in Hollywood that are working that aren't subscribing to these standards, and I think that's really good to hear. And I do see her without makeup. I do see her just kind of like being herself, and seeing that is like really refreshing.
She also this really funny story how
Judd?
Judd Apatow like dresses like a 14-year-old.
I loved this.
I love
in
this.
the article.
They were in France one night or whatever, and it was late, and they go into a restaurant, no one's there, and Judd is dressed like Judd Apatow, and they ask, can we have a table? And the hostess looks at him and goes, no, we're full. And just like tells him to get out of the restaurant because he looked like a slob.
Oh my God, but he's so rich.
I was surprised by that. I was surprised.
Little did she know. Yeah. If she only knew what these great comedy movies, she would have sat him.
Yeah.
I was surprised that like they're at a place where he is like the emperor of like comedy, and she's not like forcing him to. She's not like, you need to change how you're dressing. I don't know. I could see a lot of women doing that.
For sure. That's really nice of her.
Yeah,
So nice of her.
So nice of her not to be like a mean
really
person
nice of her.
who's bullying her husband into being someone he's not.
You're right.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments of 2018, on a completely separate note, was when on this couch, we're talking about how sometimes people like think Shannon is a pole and just shove bananas on her.
Well, yeah.
They don't even think I'm a pole. They know I'm a woman. They just think I'm a disappointing woman.
I love that because then you jumped in and you're like, you're a table, you're a table,
Oh.
you're a table.
Just how, yeah.
Well, remember when Allie fell and Shannon like thought literally like, Allie had a heart attack? And then,
I
like,
remember that.
We all thought Allie had a seizure or a heart attack.
But I wish you came to the holiday party because that effect was in like full-blown effect at that night
Yeah.
because people were like dancing on top of me and I was like, please stop, your heels are stabbing me. And they were like, who are you? You obviously are not a person.
And then it was
so
me
sad.
and I was like, I'm sorry.
I was there to watch and protect.
Yeah, I need like a little baby cage around me so people don't trample me because they think I'm not worth living.
Oh, Shannon.
Shannon,
Follow
we
me
love
on Instagram if you think I deserve to live.
Yeah. Clap if you believe.
Like,
if you believe.
Shanoonin.
Shannon's our Tinkerbell.
what is it, like every time you like a post, an angel gets its...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shannon won't die tonight if you like her posts.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
And now it's time for today's guest. Amy Conway is the editor-in-chief of Health Magazine, which gives readers the ability to put health into context with their daily lives, from workout plans to delicious recipes and more. Here to discuss some tips for a healthy holiday season is Amy Conway.
We got more meatballs.
Nice to meet you, Lucas.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm Allie.
Am I in the middle?
Yes.
Great.
Hello, welcome.
Hi,
Sydney.
thank
Nice to meet
you. Thank you. How are the meatballs?
They're really good.
You're welcome
Excellent.
to try.
We're gonna stuff our face after.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Happy to be here.
Yay. So tell us about what you do as editor-in-chief of Health Magazine.
Sure. So at Health Magazine, we gather all of the greatest info that's out there right now. We talk to the doctors, we talk to the trainers, we do our research, and we keep up with everything that's going on in the world of health and wellness. And it's really so exciting what's happening. People are so into their own health and creating these new routines and rituals for themselves. And so it's just a topic that is just, it's always changing. There's always something new going on. So we stay on top of all the trends, and then we share them with all of our readers, the really solid, well-reported info to help people take good care of themselves and feel great about themselves.
Absolutely. Health is something I think always on everyone's mind. I mean, what is your take on meatballs for breakfast?
Why not? Absolutely.
We got protein.
We got
Yeah,
protein.
I see something green here.
Yeah.
We've got a little pesto or spinach or something like
Yes,
that.
you guys heard it here first. How did your career journey lead you to this position at Health Magazine?
Right. So I've worked in magazines for a long time. I worked for Martha Stewart Publications for many, many years. Most recently, I was editor-in-chief of Martha Stewart Weddings, so that was super fun, and that was a great experience. But I've always loved health and fitness, and it's something that I really was passionate about personally. So when this opportunity came along, I was just really excited to do it. So it's wonderful to be able to have my personal passions and my work life intersect in such a great way. Sounds like you guys probably have that as well, right?
Yes, we have a lot of fun. We have too much fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what could be better?
Exactly.
And as we can see on your January, Feb issue here, you have Connie Britton talking about meditation, motherhood, moderation.
absolutely.
Love this cover.
Yeah,
so
she's
beautiful.
so
Love
gorgeous.
Connie
love
Britton.
her.
You know what? It's amazing. Everyone loves Connie Britton.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who you are. So we're so lucky to have her on this cover. I don't know if you guys have been watching her show, Dirty John.
Yes,
we talk about it.
obsessively.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
exactly.
so
We're really
good.
into it.
Yeah, so we are as well. So she talked a little bit about that. She talked about life as a single mom. She just, again, nobody doesn't love Connie, and she just is absolutely gorgeous. And she gave us a great interview, beautiful pictures of her inside the magazine.
Marrying a murderer, not great for your health.
Yeah, no.
No, not so much, not so much. But it turned out okay.
Yeah. Exciting, but dangerous.
Yeah.
I learned from real life experience. What else can we expect in 2019 from Health Magazine?
Well, you will get all kinds of great info in this issue. We talked a lot about your goals. So how to set goals that are realistic, how to keep them. What are your guys' goals for the new year?
Actually, health and wellness is a huge goal of mine for next year. I actually really want to start meditating.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah,
I just signed up.
Yeah, did you?
For
Yeah.
TM.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Excellent. Yeah, I think that's mindfulness. I don't want to say it's trendy, but it's certainly something that more people are doing now more than ever. And, you know, it makes it so easy. There are so many apps. You can just access the information so much more easily now. So that's one of my goals as well, to spend more time meditating.
I think living in New York, we all like get super
We all need
hyped
a little
up.
bit more zen in our lives,
forget
right?
how important it is just to stop.
Yes, exactly.
So New York is stressful, but also the holidays are stressful.
Yes, we're almost there.
So what are your tips for some just ways to stay healthy and to not completely let things go crazy over the holidays?
Right. I think a couple of things. One is that if you're someone who works out, to make sure you keep getting those workouts in. When we get so busy, it can be hard to squeeze in the time. So really just make sure that you have that time. And even if you can't do your hour spin class necessarily because you've got a lot of places to be during this time of year, if you just are more active, you know, walk instead of taking the cab, take the stairs, even those little bursts of activity, they really do make a difference for your body. So squeeze it in wherever you can because you'll feel better, you'll sleep better. So really stay active as you always do. Try to keep it up this time of year.
And food-wise, are there any traps we can avoid?
Well, really depends. It's, I mean, we do have the meatballs for breakfast. We
Yes.
should start every day that way. But really, when you go, I think what people get super stressed about is that you go to so many parties, so there's so much alcohol, there's so much food. And I think that, going back to the idea of mindfulness, just be conscious of what you're doing. So if you really want a cookie, have a cookie. Enjoy it, but just don't have 12. So as long as you just think about
That's
that's the problem.
I have one.
And then at least, well, you know, there's some people who do better saying, I'm not going to have any.
Yeah.
And then there are other people who can say, I'm going to take a bite, and I love that bite. So you kind of have to know who, know who you are.
I'm finding out who I am. That's a goal.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
2019.
And you're the more cookies kind of person.
Yes, I am.
That's fine. But I think also, you know, certainly if you want to alternate a glass of water every time you have a glass of wine or another cocktail.
Yeah, that is clutch.
Yes,
That is so
it is,
crucial.
because you definitely forget about that. And I have to say, I know a lot of trainers who say skip the wine and have the tequila or mezcal instead.
Really?
Yeah, so that's a great takeaway for
Really?
you guys. Yeah, because
Yeah,
the wine
for
has
tequila around
has so much sugar.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. We had on
more
Jillian Michaels recently, and she was saying, because I was reading through her book, she recommends dark alcohols over clear ones.
Oh, interesting.
Does have more
Okay.
sugar?
I don't know. I need.
I'm sure she has a reason.
I should
Yeah.
finish reading
Yeah.
the sentence. Good luck.
Just you hear
Yeah.
That was a fun part.
What are some trends in health and wellness that you see kind of in 2019? Because like you said, this is, it is kind of in right now, wellness.
Yes, absolutely.
And-
People are really into it. It's really taking care of yourself. It's become not like a burden for people, but really
Yeah.
a way of life. I mean, if you guys go to workout classes around New York, it's like that's the place to be. So a lot of people, it's part of your social life as well. But in terms of trends, there are so many cool things happening. CBD products are, I actually brought you guys a little Christmas present. You're going to have to share. So these are CBD
you
gummies.
so
This is
much.
this really cool brand called
Thank
Sunday
you.
Scaries. So as you
Oh,
guys...
gummies for anxiety.
Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly.
Love that.
Yes.
Especially with the
No
current state
judgment.
of the world,
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
this a lot.
I have
Definitely.
anxiety.
Yeah, don't we all? So these are actually really good. And CBD, it's a compound from the cannabis plant, but it doesn't contain the THC. So you don't get high, but you do get the calming effects. And the research is new, but they're looking into, it can help
Inflammation.
yeah, inflammation for sure. So basically, the big things right now that are super easy for people to do are to use creams and lotions.
Right.
If you have sore muscles and sore joints, it's really great. And then these gummies, which are really good for anxiety. And then they're doing tons of research into much more important, much bigger picture uses for treating some real serious medical conditions.
Yeah, it's really impressive. And
So
I'm
cool.
so glad it's becoming more accessible and
Yes.
people are learning more
Yeah.
about it.
I do. I use a salve. I have like a sciatica problem that flares up
Yeah,
every once in a
and
while.
it
I use a
helps.
salve.
Sexy.
Literally, I know. I'm the sexiest person
Yeah.
in the world.
That's
And it like
awesome.
literally within 30 minutes, I can just feel the
Yeah.
pain kind of subside a little bit.
But you hear about new products every day. You can actually get CBD treats for your dog, which I should probably get for my dog.
Can I tell you I did that?
And
My dog is a maniac. It didn't totally take the edge off,
Right.
but I had to try.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna tinker with the dosage.
Yes.
I just want to knock her out.
Yeah.
Yeah. She ate a scrunchie, so, you know.
It's a whole
Twice.
backstory.
Yeah.
Well, scrunchies, they're another trend, but
I know.
that's a whole other story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With New Year's, of course, resolutions come.
Yes.
And big ones always are gym membership, working out more, all this wellness stuff. I don't know if I believe in resolutions. I do think last year I did make goals for myself that I
Right.
did meet and put them out there. But what do you think is the best, what do you think the most realistic resolutions people can make? And how do you
Right.
think people should keep them or
Right.
go after them?
I think that what you really need to do is think about what's going to be meaningful for you. And so make sure it's not something that you just think you should do. So it's not, you know, oh, I think I should lose weight because, you know, I want to fit into my old jeans or, you know, because you're competing with someone or something like that. Should be a goal that really feels meaningful to you. So you want to learn a new skill so that perhaps you can advance your career, or you want to eat more healthfully so that you can just feel better. So we have a big article about it in the magazine this month. And one thing that we said is when you think about what goal you might want to achieve, just sit quietly with it for a couple of minutes and think about it. And if you feel like stress just thinking about it, it's probably something you think you should do and not something that you actually think you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a good piece of advice, because often people think it's the should. I should
That's right.
work out
Yeah.
more, I
Force
should lose
yourself.
weight, I should do this.
Right, exactly. And then one thing that I think is a really great tip is to share the goal, because you might not want to tell people, oh, I'm going to run a half marathon this year. But you know what? If you do, then you are holding yourself accountable. And, you know, so then you can put your training on your social and people can cheer you on. And so actually, you know, if you're trying to look for, say, a new job, maybe you don't want to share that with everyone. But within reason, if there are things that you're comfortable sharing, if you tell people, they will cheer you on. And then you kind of just, you know, it's a little bit of a motivator for you.
Or they might do it with you, like meditating.
that's
I feel
right.
like we could all learn to meditate
Yes,
together.
that's
in
right.
2019.
I just
Yeah.
got an app. I
Yeah.
just got
Yeah.
Calm.
Yes.
That
Yes.
app.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Headspace.
that's
that's
I woke
what
up in the middle of the night so stressed. I was like, I need something right now. And I
Yes.
helped
Right.
meditate a
that.
little bit.
So cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And that's the other thing. Also, just be kind to yourself in terms of the goals. If you slip up or, you know, it's not working, if you said you were going to go to the gym, you know, 3 mornings a week at 5 in the morning, if it's just not working for you, then instead of just abandoning the whole thing, take another look at it and make a new schedule and figure out what actually works for you. So, you know, don't beat
Great.
yourself up over
Well, I
it.
think those are some perfect tips for us to head into the new year with. Amy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Make sure to check out Health Magazine for the latest tips and trends in health and wellness. Build Brunch will be taking a short break and will return on Monday, January 7th, but you can still listen to Build Brunch, the podcast, on iTunes and catch your favorite episodes at buildseries.com/brunch. See you in 2019, same time, same table.